Ottawa, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau criticized the United States' practice of separating migrant children from parents, calling the Trump policy wrong and unacceptable, just hours before the U.S. president reversed his stand. Speaking as he entered a Liberal caucus meeting Wednesday, Trudeau said, "What's going on in the United States is wrong." Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the U.S. policy of child migrants being separated from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border is wrong. The children are being detained in guarded enclosures, prompting widespread protest. The Canadian press, "I can't imagine what the families living through this are enduring. Obviously this is not the way we do things in Canada," Trudeau, who had declined to offer firm condemnation on Monday, said in French what is happening in the U.S. is unacceptable, and later told the comments the government would continue to monitor the situation south of the border. Trudeau's words echoed those of Pope Francis, and British Prime Minister Theresa May, who told the British House of Commons Wednesday that separating families is deeply disturbing and wrong. Article continued below. "The pictures of children being held in what appear to be cages are deeply disturbing," she said. "This is wrong. This is not something we agree with. This is not the UK's approach." In an exclusive interview with Reuters, the Pope said he supported statements by U.S. Catholic bishops who called the family separations contrary to our Catholic values and immoral. "It's not easy, but populism is not the solution," Francis said on Sunday night. The condemnations came before U.S. President Donald Trump met with congressional leaders early Wednesday afternoon and declared at a photo op that he would sign an executive order to ensure families were not separated at border crossings. Hours later, he did just that. However, the order does allow American authorities to detain families for an indefinite period of time until the end of their legal case. Trump said his order was preemptive, but he expected it would be matched by legislation expected to be voted on by Congress Thursday. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau weighed in today on the U.S. policy of child migrants being separated from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border and detained, calling the situation unacceptable. Speaking briefly to reporters this morning, Trudeau said, "What's going on in the United States is wrong." Patrick Doyle, the Canadian press file photo. But even in reversing his own policy, Trump signaled his political dilemma was tied up with the concern that such a move would be perceived as weak. "The dilemma is that if you're weak, which some people would like you to be, if you're really, really pathetically weak, the country's going to be overrun with millions of people. And if you're strong, then you don't have any heart. That's a tough dilemma. Perhaps I would rather be strong, but that's a tough dilemma," said Trump. Article continued below. Searing images of children as young as 2 being separated from parents who have unlawfully crossed the U.S.-Mexican border have triggered a global wave of public outrage, and brought new pressure on Trump's administration in Washington. It had instructed border guards to prosecute every single unlawful border crosser and asylum seeker and separate parents from their children. Babies, toddlers and teens have been split from their families, held in cages or put in institutional or foster care over the past several weeks, with estimates ranging from 2,300 up to 6,000 children potentially in U.S. custody. Read more. U.S. officials sending migrant children separated from parents to tender age. Texas shelters. Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen heckled by protesters at Mexican restaurant. Diners applauded them as NBC's Rachel Maddow breaks down in tears on air while reporting on tender age shelters. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh said outside the comment that Trudeau's response to a heinous U.S. practice was too timid and came too late, noting Trudeau had accused the NDP on Monday of playing politics with the issue when it demanded the Liberal government suspend its immigration deal with the U.S. "One of the basic things in humanity is the love between a parent and a child," said Singh. To separate kids from their parents is an act that is so deplorable and so inhumane it speaks to a complete corruption of morality of this administration. However, Trudeau has turned aside questions about whether he would suspend the agreement Canada has with the United States. That deal, known as the Safe Third Country Agreement, recognizes the U.S. as a safe third country, to which Canada would turn back would-be refugee claimants if they tried to enter Canada from the U.S. It applies at official border points of entry. However, due to a loophole, it does not apply to irregular border crossings, for example across fields or roads where there is no formal border inspection point. That's why so many migrants have in the past couple of years chosen to cross at wooded points near Lacal, K, or Emerson, Man. Again pressed by the NDP in question period Wednesday, Trudeau said that the images which have emerged of distressed children in U.S. custody were concerning, and his government would continue to monitor the situation. Tonda Mac is an Ottawa-based reporter covering federal politics. Follow her on Twitter, @TundaMac.